This is an overview of the North Carolina Mineral, Oil, and Gas Rights Mandatory Disclosure Statement. So, this statement is to be provided by the seller of the property to the buyer of the property. All parties must initial and or sign this statement stating that either it was completed and reviewed by the participants in the North Carolina offer to purchase and contract. So at the top for the seller is going to go through and they are simply going to answer these questions with yes, no, or no representation. The first question, mineral rights were severed from the property by a previous owner. So if someone else severed the rights to the minerals of this property, you would state yes. If not, you would state no. And if you don't know, you would see no representation. So again, if the seller did know that someone severed those rights, or they knew that they did not sever those rights, or if they did not know, either way, they would put no representation. The next question is, does the seller have they severed the mineral rights from the property? This question is referencing the current owner of the property. Have they severed those rights? They would put yes. Have they not severed those rights? They would put no. And then the third question states, do they intend to sever the rights from the property prior to transferring the title to the buyer? Again, if they intend to do so, they would answer yes. If they do not intend to do so, they would answer no, which would then mean that the buyer would receive, along with the property, the rights to the minerals as well. Same set of questions here. This just outlines the oil and gas rights, but same thing. The first question, number 4, is going to reference the previous owner. So, does the seller know if the previous owner did sever those rights, did not sever those rights, or does the previous owner, or does the seller not know if the previous owner severed those rights? Then the fifth question, has the seller severed the rights to the oil and gas of the property? That's either going to be yes, they have, or no, they have not. And then number 6, do they intend to sever the oil and rights from the property prior to the transfer of the title? Again, that would be yes or no. Write down here just a notice to the buyer and what that would look like if for any reason the seller had transferred or severed the rights for the mineral oil and gas. You're going to have the property that this statement is addressing. You're going to have the owner's names and then the owner's signatures as well as the date and time that they signed. And right below, you're going to have the buyer's names and signatures and the date and time that they signed. And again, this is all an acknowledgement based on the mineral, oil, and gas rights and the disclosure of those rights through the North Carolina offer to purchase and the additional addendum that goes along with it.